IELTS Writing Task 1, Sentence Building. The following exercise was suggested to me by a colleague of mine, and I think it's a really useful way to encourage you to make longer, better sentences for writing Task 1. So to start with, we take a basic fact from the graph or chart that we're looking at. So the basic fact will be a short sentence with a subject and a verb. Here's an example. The number of Japanese tourists who travelled abroad increased. Subject, the number of Japanese tourists who travelled abroad, and the verb increased. Simple fact. Let's add to that numbers. We look at the graph or chart and we find the numbers from 5 million to 15 million. Now let's add when. Between 1985 and 1995. Next we could add, was it exactly this number? So from just under 5 million to around 15 million. Add an adverb to describe the verb. Increase dramatically. And the next thing we could do is to rephrase with a noun on the end of the sentence. So let me show you what this means. A rise of about 10 million in 10 years. So there we have 33 words, a good long sentence describing the basic fact that we started with. The number of Japanese tourists who travelled abroad increased dramatically from just under 5 million to around 15 million between 1985 and 1995, a rise of about 10 million in 10 years. One more thing that we could do is take the verb increased and change it into a noun. Can we begin with this noun? Let's see what I've done. There was a dramatic increase in the number of Japanese tourists who travelled abroad from just under 5 million to around 15 million between 1985 and 1995, a rise of about 10 million in 10 years. This sentence is now 37 words long, and I wouldn't recommend going any longer than that. That's a nice long sentence that we've built up step by step. So here are the 7 steps that we used. We started with that basic fact. We added the numbers. When? Was it exactly this number? We added an adverb. We rephrased on the end of the sentence with a noun to say how big that increase was. And then we tried the same sentence with the noun increase instead of the verb increased. So if you try this at home, I think you'll find it a really useful way to build your sentences and practice adding these different elements which are very important in writing Task 1.